Finley, what is you doing? Finley, what is you doing? Stop throwing at Jalen Ramsey. That's like number one in the rookie handbook is don't throw at Jalen Ramsey. And he did it. He did it over and over again. This play's sick right here. At least I think it is. Josh Allen's filthy. Look at this. All right, so I'm not going to do this for all the plays. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and we're going to go through some of these stats. All right, it's week 9. The yearly awards predictions are coming out here inside of the game. We got a lot of stats here right in front of me. So we're going to kind of go through and look at some of the top performers so far. So at the quarterback position, I mean, there's one true MVP candidate right now, and his name is Mr. Drew Brees. All right, on pace for 50-plus touchdowns. He's killing it. He's slaying, and his schedule only gets easier from here on out. Some other top performers, obviously everybody thought that Patrick Mahomes was going to be a clear MVP candidate. He's showing that he's up there. Now, he's going to have to catch up after being suspended for a game, but he's up there on par with Drew Brees with 74% completion percentage. And there's one more, a guy not a lot of people are talking about, but this team has one loss, and that's Niners quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, he's not exactly killing it in the touchdown column, 16 touchdowns, but the interceptions are down, which is a little bit different than the Dan we saw last year. Ooh, that was Melvin. Don't do it to him. So it's good to see Dan eliminating turnovers, keeping his defensive success from last cycle. No surprise he's got one loss and a quarterback who's performing well. Watson's up there as well in terms of hot streaks, so he's got 22 touchdowns. Tyree Jackson, a guy that is outperforming in terms of what was expected of him before the season. Everybody. Tyree Jackson, they did take a big loss to the Chiefs, but quarterback rating's high, completion percentage is solid. He's got 23 touchdowns, so may say that's a product of the fact that he has 2 receivers in the top 5 receiving yardage, but it is what it is. Somebody's got to get the ball there on target, so he does that. So that pretty much rounds out the quarterbacks so far. Another guy I want to point out, Phillip Rivers, after a struggle week 1. Phillip Rivers has had some big games. All right, they've blown out the Bears, they've blown out the Packers. So and then that defense, once they're up, it's hard to score on them. So kudos to them. Guys that need some work though: Matt Ryan, 31 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, unexpectedly, 22 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. So the true gunslinger method going on there. And then Jameis Winston and Cam Newton both really struggling on the interception count. All right, rushing yards and receiving yards heavily dominated by NFC players, okay? Melvin Gordon leads all running backs with 1,375 yards and 13 touchdowns, but the real star and the MVP candidate, or top MVP candidate, is Saquon Barkley. 21 fucking touchdowns. I'm going to say that again. Through 9 games, 21 fucking touchdowns. It's fucking bananas. He's killing it. 148 yards a game. Zeke's right behind him, Miles Sanders. So the NFC East, all right, is not the place to be if you have a weak run defense. Okay, Le'Veon Bell, he's up there. He's got the Jets at 8-0, so they're killing it to start. Todd Gurley, one of the few that's broken double-digit touchdowns. He has 12. And Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's been pretty solid as well. He's averaging 5.8 yards per carry. So filling things out. And then I guess a sleeper people aren't really paying attention to because the team's not really much of a threat. But Ronald Jones, the second, he's got 13 touchdowns. So he's got a nose for the end zone this year and averaging 7 yards a carry. So the Buccaneers, they can do some damage. They can fix things up. With Jameis Winston and just keep running the football. So let's go to the receiving yards here. Julio, the only guy to crack 1,000 so far. Like we mentioned before, Diggs and Thielen both over 798 yards and both in the top 5. 17 touchdowns between them. Golden Tate, a guy many people didn't expect. You see Saquon dominating. You thought he would suffer in the receiving game, but nope. Golden Tate, 3rd in the league. So all these guys, NFC guys, it's not until we get to Tyreek Hopkins down below a little bit later that we start seeing the AFC guys pop out. So defensive domination, we've talked about it before. But Cam Jordan and Joey Bosa are having ridiculous seasons. I mean, we knew Bosa. Many people didn't expect Jordan because the last cycle he got traded early. I remember him going really, really high and telling people, like, having a premier pass rusher like that is worth it. Somebody laughed at me, like, oh, Cam Jordan shouldn't go that high. No. Fuck regression, 25 sacks. It's worth it. It's worth it. Bosa's got 26.5. Khalil Mack up there. Geno Atkins, I mean, I think he got all of his 15.5 sacks versus Jordan, so I don't know if that really counts if you only get him in 2 games. Tackle for loss leaders. We have a 4-way tie at 12. That's Clowney, Bernard McKinney, Kamu Grugier Hill? I don't know. And Frank Clark, the ex-Seattle Seahawks. So, solid guys there. Let's look at the interceptions. Rudy Ford has been dominant in Philly. He's got that team on top of the East, if I'm not mistaken. So, the NFC East dominated by the Eagles and their defense, and specifically the turnover column. Jalen Ramsey's got 7 picks, but I mean 6 of them came versus P-Town. Lattimore's got 7 touchdown or interceptions to his name. So tackle leaders, I believe we got Bobby Wagner, but I mean seriously, who didn't expect Bobby Wagner to be the tackle leader? So, all right, couple minutes here to wrap this up. Obviously, we know about P-Town's dominance in the kick return. Who's our best field goal kickers? Audric Rojas, Daniel Carlson are probably the best field goal kickers so far, with Carlson probably being the top guy, having not missed a field goal all year long. I think he might be the only to not miss a field goal all year long. So, dominant performances. Let's kind of look at this week here. I want to give a shout out to G Money. Took an ass whooping, got salty in chat, sucked it up, turned around, and beat the Colts in the same night. So credit to him. I think we already seen this pick. I think Lance accidentally sent me the same 3 picks over and over and over again. Either way, like we mentioned, Dan before, been killing it all year long. Kind of wondering what's going on with the Bears. He came out firing really quickly on the season, taking Pest down, but now it looks like it was a result of Pest being bad, not so much Willie being good, as he takes back-to-back losses to Philly and the Chargers. Then again, it is Philly and the Chargers. Who isn't losing to those squads and those rosters? Rosen out for the season, ruptured disc, so Miami looking for that first overall pick now. But they do have plenty of games here to develop their young receiver core that they're really looking to create some monsters out of pretty much nothing at this point. No true X-Factor players. We mentioned Casey's big win. Seattle wins a close one. Seattle roster, many expected to be a top dog roster, but they'll figure it out. So we'll get in-depth, look out for more articles and stuff going out there in the week. We got a detailed video that's going to be underway and dropping here soon, so make sure you guys are doing that, submitting the top clips here. Don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. Let me know if it's worth doing a quick roundup during these videos. So, Philip. Thanks, guys.